All right. Happy New Year, 2020. It's a little bit late. Probably we're already on, actually, January 17th, so it's not too late. 17 days into 2020. If you follow me from last year, thank you very much. Welcome back. God bless. Hope you had a good one. If you're a new follower, subscriber, liker, unliker, doesn't matter. You got to see this once. Thanks for the view. In this specific video, oh, by the way, this is Diostar Creations coming at you live, recorded live. I still can't get over that. From Queens, New York. Here we go. First things first. In the background, we have Jeff Hardy, which I'm going to unbox. This is from the WWE. I know them as WWF. Elite. I'll get more on the actual names and company of the figure and stuff like that. I'm not much into wrestling, but when I get a close-up of that face sculpt and the other optional face sculpts, and this is one of the first, I believe, they're coming with optional hands. I have the guy that I posted earlier, the one with the mashup car. They have an alternate action figure where he comes with a bag of money. I might get it for the, you know me, I'm always collecting different props and stuff, so I might cross prop. He has a bag of money and other things like that, so I might mess around and get that. And then these are coming with soft goods jackets. I saw a classic Jim the Anvil Neidhart, for those of you vintage wrestling fans. The original Hart Foundation, Bret the Hitman Hart and Jim the Anvil Neidhart. He comes with an awesome shortcut jacket. Here you can see Mafex Boogeyman, John Wick himself. We'll talk about him in a little bit. This is SH Figure Arts Bruce Lee with the Game of Death outfit. I'm still searching for the shirtless one with the black traditional pants. I want that one. I missed out on that one. That's why I got this one. Over here we have the Mezco Daredevil, red suit Daredevil. They had 3 versions. This one, the black suit, and the first appearance orange and not orange, brown and yellow suit. The reason I have these 2 is because if you're familiar with action figures and the different companies that make action figures, you have 1, 2, 3 different size action figures. When we're making props and things of that nature, of that sort, you want it to kind of, sort of, like I said early on, we call it 112, but it's a guesstimate. None of us actually take, well, I don't actually take. For those of you that do, like Longshore Spike, his measurements have to be precise and on the money. There's other guys that the preciseness of their cuts have to be there, so maybe they use calipers and things of that nature that I wouldn't necessarily use because I don't get that technical and that minute in my detail. But you don't want Bruce Lee to be kicking this around, because as you can see in real life, this would approximately be 4 or 5 feet taller than Bruce, which would make he would have to be using, if you know about heavy bags and gym equipment, this would probably be a Muay Thai bag. Bruce could handle it, but for the purpose of dioramas and 112 overall look, I made 2 versions. One for Bruce himself and one for the rest of my action figures. As you can see, even the bag with the stand, I could alternate it, but I didn't want to keep taking this bag off of here and clipping it over there and vice versa, so I made 2 bags. This one works perfect because, as you can see, Bruce in this particular is only, he tops off at 5.5 inches. Okay. Whereas Daredevil, Mezco Daredevil, tops off at 6 and maybe 1/8. Yeah, about a 6 1/8. But it makes an entire difference. See how Bruce looks oversized in this one? he still looks, again, it looks like a Muay Thai bag. The stand, he could work in either one, but when I put Daredevil over here, the bag is a little bit too low. Unless he's concentrating on his lower body punches and lower body kicks, it doesn't necessarily lend for that realistic effect as when you put him over here. It makes better visual sense to me anyway. Just like Bruce over here. Again, Bruce looks good in either one. Daredevil, the bigger figures, they may look awkward in this bag. And this one over here, let me get another wrestling figure, because the wrestling figures tend to be a little taller and bigger, and this is exactly what I mean right here. The guy is almost as tall as the stand itself, so that's why I made two, so big dude here can look better over there. Now, the dynamics of how I made them was each piece is made out of one solid. I cut it out of a 1x6, and then what I did was I measured, how long is this here? Sorry about that, I should have prepared this, but this is 5 inches over here, 5 inches over there to have equal, and then you're looking at 7 by probably 3. If you make this any longer, the weight of this would have to be potentially longer, because the longer you make this, the leverage, the pivot point, actually it doesn't matter how wide these are, the weight of it, because I actually have sand in it. If you can hear it, there's actually sand in both of them. I put masonry sand, very, very fine, dry masonry sand, because it's hard to pack wet sand. It's notorious. You ever gone to the beach, it's easier to, I mean, it's better for sand castles, but I didn't want to make a sand castle. I wanted to make a sandbag. This is from a 99-cent store keychain whistle, I believe. I took a few lengths off. I cut them off. When you do this here, I used a hole punch. I went to the fabric store and got a hole punch. It's precisely punches the hole through without allowing for rip. So when you're hanging it, the weight of this won't rip into it, as opposed to if you slice a blade into it, a blade, you won't never get, you're gonna see the difference in the slice. The hole is for belt punches. You put it in, obviously it serves a purpose. You put a ring through it. I put 4. You can, if you can figure out how to put 3 and keep the weight, the distribution, make it look, you know, swing perfectly, cool. I wanted to put a swivel on it, but the swivel I had broke, because this is, and then over here I just put a solid little piece of wire, turned it around at the top. That's the swivel. Over in this one, I used an eye hook and I screwed it in. The same concept. The longer you make the top over here, the more the pivot base. It's basic physics. The longer this is over here, the heavy this is, it's gonna, you would have to make this either foam or just paper or something. So if you wanted to put it out here, it wouldn't tilt the base. This one is approximately 1 inch bigger, so this would be about 6.5, maybe 7 inches at the base, extending each one at a 90-degree angle. This is one piece, again, cut at a 90-degree angle on a bandsaw. This is about 3.5. This one and that one are 3 inches. I kept it at the same height because since this one is taller, again, physics, I'm not a scientist or anything like that, but I understand a little bit. Because it's taller, you can't extend this out as much. The same thing with center of gravity, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, those of you that are familiar with what I'm trying to explain and understand it better, explain it to somebody else. Thank you very much. Oh, this right here, this is vinyl. I turned them inside out, sold them. I'm not again, I do this for hobby, for my pictures, for my purpose. I'm not intending to necessarily sell these or whatever. This is how I do it. You can figure it out. You can make better stitches, better bases, better things like that. I'm comfortable with it. When I take my pictures, when I set up my action figures, I'm cool. I like it. serves purpose for me. Cool. Again, this is just a little recipe. As with food or anything else, you take it, add your spice to it, add your flavor to it, bang it out your way. Good luck to you. Boogeyman. Mayfex. John Wick. This is awesome. Posing him is pretty cool. The way he actually, in the movie, it's good that he has the wrist pivots the way he has, because he normally, the way he holds the gun and, you know, angles it, and yeah, it allows for realistic movie type poses. I just seen John Wick 3. If you haven't seen it, catch it. If I'm late for it, doesn't matter. It is awesome. 1, 2, and 3. The trilogy is awesome. He killed it with Matrix. He killed it with John Wick. I don't understand how one man could hold two different characters and be iconic in both. This is, well, Mark Hamill, you have Luke Skywalker and the voice of Joker. So you can't call him the Joker. He's the voice of Joker because we know him, because obviously it's Luke. If you're old enough and, you know, if you're alive, you know Luke Skywalker and you know he's the Joker. But he's the voice of the Joker and he's Luke Skywalker. There's a difference there. Anyway, we're not going to get into that. Finally, the unboxing of this bad boy right here. Jeff Hardy Elite Collection. It says here, interchangeable hands, Elite Collection. Look at that face sculpt. Just the paint job alone. I'm going to pop it open right now in a few. And this is just looking at the box. I got this at, where did I get this? At Walgreens. Yes. It has a little bio right there. Cameron? Yes, Cameron, North Carolina, 225 pounds. Blah, blah, blah. The Swanton bomb. Little information about the face detailing. Look at that. Now, these are the pictures of them, the human beings. Now, when I pop this open right now, give me a second. When I pop this, I don't care much for the box. I'm not the guy that keeps the boxes and, oh, I need the box. I pop every one of them open. I tear it apart. I'm here for the action figure. I'm here for the props. I'm here for the coolness. I'm here for the physical ability to be able to play with these things and pose them. And you want to call it, I pose mine. We play with them. You want to get technical with it? Hey, whatever. But now what I do is carefully, I bring from the back and I push out. Because I found out, unfortunately, the hard way with one or two other action figures that if you do it any other way, this really sucks. If you do it any other way, you're going to break a peg, you're going to break a finger, a gun, something is going to break. The head sculpts, I'll bring it right now. Let me just pop this out so I won't make too much noise. Oh, man. No, I didn't do anything. All right. Here we go. That is a pretty decent face sculpt. Look at that. That paint job is pretty awesome. I think they should have, because in the box he has tunnels. If you're familiar with body modifications and stuff, those are tunnels. He's looking at probably a 0, maybe a 00. Yeah, he's flared out. Pause, you damn freaks. They should have probably put just a little, if anybody from the company is watching, just a drop of black paint. Just a drop of black paint. But back to the paint job. That's a pretty awesome paint job right there. The body sculpt, here you go, the gloves on the hand. Wrist articulation. These would be awesome with the butterfly joints. Oh, they would kick ass. But for the most part, let me move this gingerly. I normally bring it, I thumb first and then push it, because sometimes, because they're new and they're in the package and they're whatever, they're in the packaging, sometimes they're too stiff or too loose, and you move them really quick, pop, and $20, $30, $100 down the drain, and boy, are you dealing with a pissed off collector. So you just gingerly move them little by little. There we go. We have the bicep swivel, shoulder swivel, shoulder. There we go. We have the head. Bring it back, forward, back. It doesn't go too far back. Maybe, well, ab crunch to the front is perfect. To the back, not too ecstatic about that. He's a wrestling dude, and you know, he screams. But they should have made one of these in this. You can't put that face there and just that one. But those are cool. I guess that's okay. It comes off pretty cool. You can make one of these out of cloth and stick it in there. That's the towel I guess he uses. I haven't watched wrestling in a long time. So we have that's forward, back. It doesn't go too much. But with these wrestling action figures, even though the sculpts and everything are pretty cool, the articulation is getting better, but it can still be just a little bit better. Like this one right here, you need see, there's no back motion. It comes to the front pretty awesome. Doesn't go to the back at all. It goes to the side. I guess he can do sweet chin music, or I guess not really. See, even there. But I don't want to. Let me see how far does the hip go. Yeah, you don't want to do that. Has this, that, ankle pivot, a little bit to be desired. Again, I bought it for the paint job, and then the name on the box, Enigma. I know Edward Nygma is the Joker, but you can have him as a guy trying to fight against the Joker, and they're, you know, with Batman. The neck peg, head pops off pretty easy. Put this one on. Oh, this guy has neck tattoos. Look. Yes. Yeah, neck tattoos. That's pretty cool. And then he has this one with longer hair. That I'm not too crazy about. Yeah. Let me see, get into focus. But overall, it's a pretty awesome action figure. I'd keep this one on it. Quiet type of guy, but he looks badass. Anyway, thank you very much for coming by. Let me give a zoom in on this guy right there. Look at that. Oh, that's badass right there. Sweet Enigma. Riddle me this. Who's gonna come back and check the next episode of Diostar Creations? Thank you all for watching. Again, happy 2020. God bless. Start off cool. Hopefully y'all caught up with me from last year. I'll catch you on the rebound. Peace.